At the start of September 1939, the world watched as Germany invaded Poland, igniting a war that would engulf all of Europe. Just across the border, France faced a German frontier that was surprisingly thinly defended. On September 7th, only 6 days after the war began, the French army crossed into German territory. But here, the surprising part, the French didn't advance very far not because of German resistance, but because there wasn't much resistance at all. So why didn't France seize this moment? Why didn't they launch a serious offensive while most German forces were tied up in Poland? The answer lies in a mix of planning, politics, and plain misjudgment. After World War I, France and Poland had developed close military ties. French officers had advised the Polish army during the Polish-Soviet War, and soon the two countries signed a formal alliance. The plan was simple in theory. If Poland could hold out for 3 weeks, France would launch a massive invasion into Germany to relieve pressure on Warsaw. But theory rarely survives the reality of war. The first obstacle was logistics. Though the French could have moved across the border quickly, assembling a large-scale army in just days was impossible. The force that advanced into the Saar region was only a fraction of what France had promised Poland. Troop mobilization was slow, moving hundreds of thousands of soldiers, and all their equipment wasn't something that could happen overnight. The bulk of France's strength sat behind the Maginot Line, but military leaders hesitated to redeploy them. They believed this war would resemble the last one: static defenses, slow and costly attacks. The soldiers who did cross the border were tasked mainly with probing German defenses and occupying abandoned towns. Allies were supposed to help. Britain, for example, could have relieved troops along the Belgian border, freeing them to support the offensive. But Britain's rearmament wasn't complete, and deploying even the forces they could spare was a slow process. Politics added another layer of caution. French leaders worried about public reaction, about panic, about political instability. Governments were fragile. They believed by staying cautious, they could unite the nation when Germany inevitably attacked. Officially, France argued that its alliance with Poland only required crossing the border, an obligation they had fulfilled. Poland naturally did not see it that way. Then came expectation versus reality. The French assumed Poland could hold out for months, tying down German forces and giving France time to prepare. But Poland fell quickly, shocking French generals. Germany would soon be able to redeploy troops west. French forces deep in Germany would be beyond the safety of the supposedly invincible Maginot Line. And when the Soviet Union invaded from the east, the situation became even more complicated. Advancing too far could provoke conflict with the Soviets, a risk no one wanted. Finally, the French simply didn't realize how weak the German border defenses were. Had they launched the offensive they had originally planned, they might have crushed the German positions, opening the way to unguarded industrial centers. Instead, caution ruled. Germany had gambled, leaving its western frontier weak, betting that France would not dare a decisive attack. And France did not. In those early weeks, the war was shaped not just by armies but by planning, fear, and misjudgment. France had a chance to strike decisively, but hesitation held them back, and the consequences of that hesitation would echo across Europe for years to come. If you enjoyed this video, then like the video, drop a comment, and subscribe to the channel.